Hey, good morning. Good morning. How you guys enjoying Tech Ready? Ignite. Well, I'm glad to be. You guys are here with us today. My name is Alfred Ojuku. I am what they call a surface specialist. I am out of the New York area. I cover healthcare and primarily focused on companies that are focused on healthcare. I am here joined with me with David Alexander, as well as Bruce Pagan, who will be also presenting and doing a few demos for you guys. I'm glad you guys were able to join us today, and obviously I'm going to ask that you refrain from asking questions until the end. Feel free to come up afterwards. We have about 20 minutes, and you guys know that in 20 minutes, we cannot cover all the content that's available for healthcare, but we'll do our best to answer as many questions as you can and actually share with you some content that we have. So starting forward, one thing I do want to share with you. There we go. We talk about modern healthcare, and I really want to get to the point where we're thinking about where healthcare is going. Just the fact that we're getting more involved in telemedicine, things like mobility and cloud. How many people of you guys are modernizing your healthcare space today? It's such an important piece, and we've been such of a laggard in this case because of the fact that we care more about our patients than we do the technology. But now with Microsoft sort of advancing and moving forward, we've been able to start merging those two together and make sure that we provide you all with the latest and greatest technology. You can see that wearables and IoT are becoming much more prominent in that space, as well as solutions like HoloLens that use artificial intelligence as well as mixed reality. As we move forward, we have to deal with the challenges that you all are seeing today. And some of those challenges include things like patient experience, ensuring that they're expecting the right service available. They're coming out of the healthcare systems looking for people that can help them solve solutions. So 75% of patients expect to use digital services, as well as 23% of breaches that are happening over and over again. We see that as a challenge within the healthcare space. And as well as costs, when we're talking about 8.9 million costs of just the cost of compliance per health organization. It continues to grow. Our goal is to basically help you understand how to solve these problems. And last, you see that 100 million class action lawsuits. Again, in healthcare, this is prominent. We've seen this happening over and over again. What we're trying to do is really move forward with the next steps. I'm going to go ahead and introduce David Alexander. Mike?
Great, can we get the mic? No? There we go. Cool. So thanks so much for being here again. I won't spend too long up on the stage as the marketing guy because you are all here to hear from Bruce and hear about how Surface devices can actually be helping to impact the medical industry. But it is worth taking a moment to just note that Surface actually is a pretty mature business now in terms of the hardware manufacturing business operations that we have. Microsoft is a hardware company now, and if it wasn't clear to you before, you may not have been aware of the rich history we've had over the last 6-7 years in terms of device innovation and iteration. At this point, we are on our 7th generation Surface Pro. We have multiple generations now out with Laptop 3. We have Surface Book, Surface Go, which we recently added to the portfolio on the 10-inch side as a highly portable device. All of these different options, all the way up to the largest screen, Surface Hub 2S, which is really introducing great new ways for medical professionals to collaborate, share information, review information about patient care, patient data, in new interactive ways to leverage digital to make more informed, better data-connected decision-making on behalf of the patients. Super impactful stuff. If we think about the Surface family, here again as we show, we do have a range of options. We have Surface Pro and Surface Go, which are our 2-in-1s. Those are the most portable, flexible devices that really adjust depending on the type of mode you want to use them, whether you want to use them as a full laptop with a snap-on keyboard, whether you want to fold the kickstand in, use it as a tablet, or use the kickstand to put it down into a writing and drawing posture, offering doctors, nursing staff, medical professionals the ability to write with ease and have the full power of a laptop with the portability of a tablet all mixed together in one full Windows 10 PC option. Then in terms of laptop options, more traditional lappable form factors, we have laptop, we have book with more performance and the ability to rip off the screen. Studio can be a great device to review on a larger screen some of that medical information, some of those diagnostic images, for example, and then of course Hub, like we talked about. And in terms of the devices that we just announced, here you go. You can see them showing up here, like Surface Pro X, Surface Pro 7, Surface Laptop 3. This is the type of spectrum that we end up actually getting the most enthusiastic response from customers about, because it shows how for every worker in the organization, for every type of medical professional there's a device that might make the most sense for them based on the different types of characteristics of the device. I'll get out of the way so you can take some pictures. Surface Go in particular, because of its mobility and the fact that it has optional LTE capabilities as well, has really made mobile care something that can be very powerful, where mobile care professionals don't have to rely on the Wi-Fi network of the patient they're visiting. They can stay connected and secure with the LTE network they're on, but have access to all those patient records and things that they need while they're out in the field. And then, of course, nurses, pharmaceutical reps, physicians, pharma reps. In terms of Surface Pro X, what it's doing in terms of really, bleeding edge, modern forward design and innovation on that device, we see a lot of pharmaceutical reps leaning towards it because it can offer all of the mobility they need from a tablet with that sort of visual impact that often, with just a few minutes of time that they get in front of, the people they're meeting with, the ability to make that impression and then have the full power of a Windows 10 PC to, go off and take their notes, send their emails, send their follow-ups and all those pieces too. So that's just sort of a quick look at the sort of spectrum of people who can use the devices in different ways. And we talked about sort of the new additions that we introduced just last month, Surface Pro X, Surface Pro 7, and Surface Laptop 3, now available in a 15-inch as well as the 13.5-inch that we had, depending on if you're looking for more screen real estate for that more traditional laptop form factor. So I think I'm going to have Alfred come back up for the next slide here and keep running for just a couple more moments.
Again, thank you, David. Really appreciate that information. More importantly, we're going to make sure that you understand that Surface is a core part of your organization. In healthcare, we see the combination of Surface, a better together story with Microsoft 365. We have a Forrester study that shows where those benefits are gained by putting those two together, and you can see the stats here that really tell that story. But really what we brought you here today is to share with you some of the scenarios or demo some of the things that we're doing in healthcare today with the technology and what we have. This gives you a good example of some of those use cases, as David mentioned, from maximizing clinical efficiency in terms of workflow, making sure they have the ability to do their physical rounds, down to streamlining medical operations like patient check-in, as well as bedside consultation. We also see just being able to empower home and healthcare services when we're dealing with things like telemedicine. We start seeing that where we're dealing with documentation, navigation, as well as patient education so that they know what's going on. But really, what I want to do now is really turn it over to somebody that works in this field day in, day out. I have this good friend of mine, does a great job. So please help me welcome Bruce Pagan as we go into the rest of the content.
Hi, how you doing? My name is Bruce Pagan. I'm the director of IT at the Mount Sinai Health System in New York City. And I've been working with this amazing Microsoft team for about 2 years on a solution we had for one of our suites, a newly renovated plastic surgery and reconstructive suite. So we worked with them in an ISV called TouchMD. So basically, the division I'm going to speak about today is the plastic surgery division. So this is the app TouchMD that they created for, it was originally on Windows 10, now they created for the Hub Edition. So this helps in many ways. The main goal was patient experience. We needed to get that at a higher level. That affects everything, Press Ganey scores, patient satisfaction, and stuff. Sorry. All right, so basically, for consultations, this is a great feature. So the patient will come in, we'll take a picture on a digital camera in one room. By the time they get, it gets uploaded straight into the TouchMD app. Once that happens, they walk into the consultation room or the exam room. And this gives you different categories on what subject they're going to work on. So now, in the consultation room, sometimes the doctor has to leave. So there, idle mind is the devil's playground. So you're looking at you know, white walls, waiting for the doctor, getting antsy. So here, we implemented, they could come, go to the hub, choose a category, so eyelid surgery. And we also have a feature that here, that they could choose video. So once that happens, they could choose a video or any particular surgery they're thinking about being interested in. So this kind of educates the patient, also gives the doctor time to see other patients. So we could actually fill up all our exam rooms with patients, and as they're going through the video, they're getting educated as well. So basically, we'll take a picture, it gets uploaded into the TouchMD app, then now we can do a consultation with them. At the bottom.
This is his demo, so give me a break. Give me a break. All right, let's see.
So at the bottom, you'll see you can use different tools to start drawing and showing different things that the patient would want to work on, or they're there to.
Who actually makes that recommendation? Would it be the patient or the healthcare provider?
I'm sorry, excuse me?
Who actually makes that recommendation? Would it be the patient or healthcare provider?
Which recommendation?
In terms of what they want to do when they're in the hospitals or when they go to see the provider. Is it basically here, this is so what happens, they typically come in and ask, hey, I want to do some work in terms of facial reconstruction, right?
Right.
And then that's when that conversation starts. They pull up that image, right?
Correct. So now, yeah. Sorry. So basically, so they'll the doctor will come out, show out the different points to see what they want to work on. I forgot quite a few things he could work on. So at this point, the great part about this is during this consultation, when they leave, they get to download an app, and everything that's in the consultation gets uploaded to their chart, so they could go home. They'll view the conversation with their loved ones. So this actually helps us because the family members get to relive what they experienced with the doctor in the consultation room or the exam room. And this gives a higher turnaround for them to come back and actually choose that doctor to actually perform the surgery instead of going to getting a second, third, fourth opinion. So with this patient dashboard, they could then do the before and after pictures. So you'll see the original one, and then you can compare it. So you go over it with your loved ones. And the great part about this is you could also see before and after the surgery, pre and post-op. So, basically we could do anything, I don't know how good our surgeons are, but this is...
I love that software. Can I get a copy of it? I really love that software. That's some great work. So great, ladies and gentlemen, Bruce Fagan, thank you so much for sharing that information. Now, the beauty of this is Bruce and our team, we've been working on this for about a year and a half. Ever since 2017, we came out with Service Hub 1, and that was the solution they placed in there. They had about different Surface Hubs in the actual patient consulting room, about 14 different ones. That's where they started, and we started using solutions that allowed them to store data and actually pull up the imagery on the screen, be able to digitize it, and actually share it with their patients. It cut down the amount of time you had to spend with a specific patient. That turnover rate was increased. The patient experience was increased. There was customer satisfaction went up. The provider was excited about the solution because now they could see more patients in a single hour. That's the value of putting solutions like this. Even more so, what happened is we were able to now, build out another solution in a different facility, having additional hubs that are going to be used for similar potential, as well as being able to use it for things like voice conference calling, as well as digitizing and clinical hubs. Now, as I mentioned, we only have about 20 minutes, so I could go through all of this content. Is there any specific area you all want to go through? And we'll just pick one and we'll go through it. Now, the deck is available afterwards. If you ever need it, if you have questions, you can also reach out to us. And the hardware, all of the hardware to check it out is right over here. I'll be standing here as well to answer any questions. Is there anyone specific we want to go through?
Patient check-in?
Patient check-in. Let's check out patient check-in. Go ahead and click that real quick. So this is a great example of what we're doing, patient check-in. what happens, what I'm seeing in the healthcare space is a lot of folks are looking for solutions that provide fast service for patients who are coming in where they're using a specific EMR solution, maybe Epic, maybe Cerner, using that to actually do the check-in process. What we found are these Surface devices provide them with the functionality, the battery life, the actual experience of touch, and instant access to content whenever they need it, as well as being able to sign it and send the content off. We actually also have cases that are built in that allow them to use it for credit card reading and actually allow the patient to take care of their costs right away. Again, what that does is it increases the amount of time it takes, decreases the amount of time it takes to get a patient into the healthcare system and out of the office as quickly as possible. So some of those come in the form of a Surface Go. Go ahead and slide that over one time. You'll see that we have the Pro. The Pro X is also available. It's a thin, light device, as David mentioned earlier, as well as different options like a mobile cart that can be used. Now, we work with a few companies. One of them is called Joy Factory. They build these mobile carts so that patients can actually walk up and input their information and have that available afterwards. They come in both the Pro and the Go size, and they'll also make it so that the cases are actually cleanable. You don't have to worry about the device becoming infectious or any sort of concerns that way. We also have cases that come along with that, but here what you're seeing is the ability to use solutions like Go LTE, or Pro X. Of course, in the hospitals, you probably have Wi-Fi connection, but think about the scenarios where you don't have that connection. This is where that comes in handy as well. Go and click the top corner button real quick.
Top corner.
Thank you. Now, last thing I want to share with you as we wrap this up is product integration, the very last button there.
I'm sorry.
Product integration, far right, yeah, there we go. We talk about the different product integrations. We have a great story where we have other third-party vendors that are building accessories that allow us to do things like touchscreen, charge the device offline, and also do digitizing. You can see a number of different scenarios. Our intentions is to make sure that we partner with these third parties to build great solutions. We know you run applications that need that requirement. We want to make sure that we're providing platforms that give you that flexibility and actually take advantage of it. As I mentioned, that's where the product integration happens. Let's keep going with one more slide. Wrong way.
Which way?
This way.
This way?
Yep. There we go, perfect. Surface device sanitation. Last thing I want to share with you. Again, we've spent a lot of time with perfecting how devices work. This is a very important fact. If you remember the Surface Laptop 2, we built it with the Alcantara keyboard. I spent a lot of time with healthcare customers who were looking for solutions that could basically be considered a cleanable device. The feedback we received from you all was we want devices that don't have to worry about sanitation or cloth requirements, and that change was made. If you take a look at the laptop 3s, all of that is basically what you see is these devices that have the aluminum built in it. They're much lighter, and they're also, you have the ability to basically remove the SSD and use it that way. So the serviceability is increased. But again, if you still need the device sanitation, we've built that in. That's part of the testing of these products, and that's why it's built the way it is. So again, as I mentioned, Microsoft's purpose is to give you a better IT experience, to ensure you have great solutions that allow you to get more work done. We have options for autopilot, which is becoming a much more robust way of deploying systems, getting it from the factory to the end user's hands. I say this every time, we want to spend less time re-imaging devices and more time making sure that you have the right build and getting it out to the employees as well. And second of all, managing the devices is much more secure. We have that built in both in SCCM and Intune. And from the ground up, these devices are secure in nature. So really, healthcare needs to definitely consider Surface as a platform, because that's what we're doing. We're providing devices that give you the best performance, and also users like it. Users love it. Let's go last slide. If you're interested in more sessions, Microsoft Surface sessions at Ignite, here's a list of them. It's available in the deck. Please check it out. Make sure that you're sharing this information with your IT team, your procurement team, because they need to know. There are a lot of us out there, they're here to help them find opportunities to take advantage of what this can do. And really, Microsoft provides you devices that you can actually test out. Once you actually test it out and see what you can do with it, you realize that the 7, 8 years that we've spent building these new devices actually make a difference, specifically in healthcare. Thank you.